1 year in with my first ever folding phone. So, time to have a look and see how it's holding up and if it feels worthwhile. I've done my best to look after this device, always using a case and not being careless. It's a heck of a lot to spend on a device, after all, and that should be respected. At the same time though, I do use a thin case without hinge protection to make it feel a bit nicer in the hand. A weird combo of the grippy Tudia backplate and the official Google front plate. A good mix of feel, size, grip and MagSafe. And I use it like I would any other daily driver. Not going to extreme lengths to baby it, but still being smart about what risks I expose it to. It's been with me overseas, in the pouring rain, down the beach and everywhere in between. It's even bounced off the pavement a few times, as nobody's perfect. But it did make my heart stop for a second. With all that, the frame is a little dirty and dusty, but in otherwise great condition. And the front display shares in that condition, still on its first sheet of tempered glass. A little crooked, as I thought I would have swapped it over by now. The inside display has stayed in a surprisingly good condition too, but then I do only tend to unfold it when I know I'm unlikely to be careless and can properly enjoy it. Otherwise, keeping it in its relatively safe closed state. That is only relatively though, as while I have avoided hard objects and even my own fingernails denting the display, the only real perceivable damage appears to come from the display itself, where it touches while closed. It's the same spot where oil builds up and leaves butterfly-like smears under the right conditions, which need to be cleaned off. But apparently, this isn't a zero damage area. Pretty minor, but still annoying. No issues with the crease though, other than it existing, but most usage made it easy to forget about, and no other display damage either. A relief with how often the inner display gets reported as broken in online posts. Overall use of that inner display has only been about 10% of the time though, when it's both safe and purposeful. Utilised excellently for comics, books, photo viewing and general browsing. It's not exactly ideal for all video, but it is still pretty good. Some tasks, like video, are only a little better when viewing on the inner display, but other tasks, such as comics, I feel are genuinely transformative, as I simply wouldn't read them at all without the bigger canvas, never finding it fulfilling on the standard size phone display. The same goes for multitasking. Able to run two apps side by side, something that kinda seems okay on a slab phone until the keyboard appears. Being able to run two apps to copy or compare information or keep particular things open often allowed for more important and finicky tasks to be performed, where I previously would have waited until I was at my PC instead. Not bad when I had the time and only this device on me. But being the only device used for everything, it didn't always last, with my battery life being a bit average. I limited the charge to 80% once that setting came in, around December 2025, and my current reported battery capacity is sitting at 92%. When starting the day at 80% battery, I would always need a top up in the afternoon just to last the day. Even since the big September feature drop, it's mostly been charging all the way to 100%, and it still struggles to make it through the day. So, it's held up okay, and it's useful for the right kind of stuff. But then, has it actually been worth it? I mean, the Pixel 9 launched at $800 US, where the 9 Pro Fold hit $1,800 US. Absolutely crazy by comparison. And I am comparing to the base Pixel 9 on purpose, as while it does have the Pro name attached, it kind of has more in common with the base model. Even more so this year, with the base 10 getting the 5x zoom. But that's a whole different story. So maybe it would be better to just buy a top-end Pixel Pro XL and a tablet, and still have money left to go out to dinner. Especially as anytime I go back to my old Pixel 8 Pro, the general phone experience just feels better, with the footprint not much bigger than the Fold. Even worse if that inner display doesn't get much use too. Plus, the step back in camera quality, especially in low light and the lack of high quality 2x zoom shots. I can't argue that the Fold is an amazing device. It offers experiences I wouldn't enjoy on a typical phone and allows me to get far more done on the go. All on the one device, rather than needing multiple. And it also feels so damn cool and futuristic. But while I have enjoyed my folding year, and I hope it continues in the future, assuming that inner display doesn't break and remains fun, I don't know if I would recommend the experience to anyone unless an amazing deal pops up or you have cash burning a hole in your pocket. I really do hope one day the Pro label becomes warranted for the specs and the price though.